There are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us on the set of The Gloves Are Off. Joining me, as always, coach of the Lloydminster Bobcats, Brian Kern. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great, but I have to do this.
Okay, go ahead.
Flyers knocked out in 5.
Our poor guest is taking a blow already. Joining us today after receiving almost a knockout, Bill Svens. Bill, welcome to the set. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Carly. I'm a guidance counselor at the high school here in town, and I've had the opportunity to watch Brian golf a little bit and see that he should have stayed in the hockey career. But it's a pleasure to be here with Lloydminster's own Desecki, the most interesting man in Lloydminster.
Oh, wow.
Boy, well, goes for the heart right off the hop. This is going to be good.
This is going to be good.
Stay tuned,
Things
everyone.
are going to get interesting.
Might not be a guest the second half of the show.
Oh, all right. The threats are already flying here on the set. I'm caught in the crossfire. But first segment, dump and change. As you guys know, if you don't like one of these topics, you can jump and change to the next one. But first up, we're talking about golf already, and we haven't even started the show. Let's talk about the PGA Championship, 92nd playing of the PGA Championship, an absolutely heartbreaking finish. Do you guys think it was a bit of an anticlimactic ending with what happened to Dustin Johnson?
Go ahead.
Unfortunate for Johnson, but the excitement was still there. I mean, a 3-hole playoff. You had 2 different players in it. Bubba Watson, who's a long ball hitter.
Yeah.
Kamer, the German, was more of a strategic player. Go to the last hole, the playoffs tied. Bubba Watson, with its range, wanted to go for it. Failed. Hit the hazard.
Kerplunk.
Kerplunk.
Yeah.
Put himself in a hazard where Kamer was sitting in the junk. So, I mean...
Do you think Johnson should have known better, though? I mean,
we're talking about the bunker, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get to that quicker? Because that's what you wanted to argue.
Oh,
my
gosh. Stop picking on him.
He'll start, too. Let's get it straight. Like, for me, yes, I understand the rules. But as I said earlier, a bunker is so easily identified. On that course, apparently not. You can trample and walk into bunkers anytime you want.
Yep.
Yes, they put notices up. Yes, they did this. But in that situation there, they can't change the rules. I know what the outcome would have been, but boy, they have to identify the lot better than that.
They were posted the rules. He knows the rules. This isn't his first round in
But I believe you taught a couple of those kids, so they might not have been able to read.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, big question I want to know. After Tiger finished tied 28th in the PGA, is this guy still number 1? He missed the cut now for the Ryder Cup. Like, he's definitely not top 8. Is he still number 1?
He is in my books, without question. You got to be knocked out. There's have system. They have points. Is he the best player playing right now? Absolutely not.
No, I agree.
Is he the best player still? Yeah, until he gets knocked out.
But you still think he deserves the title?
He's ranked number 1 by his records in the past. That's got him there. But currently, I agree, he's not the best player on the tour right now. I mean, you've got the young guys. You've got the McIlroys. You've got the Dustin Johnsons. You've got that
You're very McIlroy today, too, wearing the orange. Yeah.
Oh, and you are, too.
But then, I mean, the public wants, the networks want Mickelson to be number 1. And he's not. He's had how many chances to be number 1?
It's a conspiracy theory.
No, it's not. He's just died. He's choked. I don't know what he's done.
No, but the networks want him to be number 1. With Tiger's personality and what has happened in the last year. And then with Mickelson's wife having cancer, they built him up to be this great family man, whereas Tiger Woods, unfortunately, had some issues with his family. Issues.
By the way, quickly, though, did you see Tiger said that if he's not playing better, he will turn down the captain's pick?
Yeah. Well, that will be announced September 2nd, I think.
They don't want him on there.
Okay. Next up.
That's a first.
Put the gloves back on. We have to talk a little MMA here. Big news this weekend for MMA fans in Ontario. The government has said, hey, guess what, guys? Come fight in Ontario. We're going to legalize it. Things are good to go. They can have their MMA fights. Do we think this makes sense, or does it make just dollars and cents?
You can go with it. I'm dumping it.
You're dumping it?
Yeah, I'm dumping the subject.
We have, we've been dumped and changed.
I wanted to talk about that one.
Oh, too bad. Dumped and changed now. You'll have to get him back for this one. Okay, let's talk hockey. Brian's favorite subject. Thomas Caberlet, he's still a Leaf. That no-trade clause looks like Brian Burke didn't get an attractive enough offer. Caberlet will still be wearing the blue and white this season.
Well, Flyers would have actually picked him up. They would have had a better defense, but apparently they couldn't offer much.
2 years ago, we offered Jeff Carter in a draft choice, and Burke, who has a bigger ego than Curran, Mr. Curran, turned it down. So I'm glad for that. This is coming from a Toronto Maple Leaf the Flyers. I mean, they haven't been in the playoffs in how many years? In the last year they were. I think we knocked
But
them out.
okay, let's just get back to this deal here for a second, though,
yes.
because Burke said that the point of getting or trading Kaepernick would have been to get better right away, and apparently the futures deals and the draft picks, that wasn't good enough.
It
for
wasn't
Burke.
good enough, and he also said way back too. He said, you know what? If I don't basically get what I want, and if I don't improve on my forward position, I'm still going to be a better team with Kaepernick
Kaepernick's
in the
okay.
line. He's a top
two
two
defensemen on most
you can
teams,
argue,
yeah.
2-3 defensemen.
The only thing is, he'll be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year.
Big
Yeah.
bucks.
He'll bolt. The way they've treated him in Toronto, every year he's on the trade deadline, he'll leave that team as quick as
Well,
he can.
no, people don't want to stay in Toronto. It's a
The
trend.
unfortunate
Okay.
part. Oh, you would have liked that
Yes,
answer.
I got to do it. All right, next up, we got to talk a little CFL here. My team, the Tabbies, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, might be homeless after next season. Bob Young, team's owner, pulled out financial support for a stadium development in the city. He's not happy with the West Harbour location. I want to know what you guys think. Are the Tabbies really going to move? Do you think that this team could relocate because of this?
I think they're playing the game right now. I mean, Hamilton wants to relocate out to an area where they want to regenerate the growth, and it'll turn into the Ottawa Centre is what they did when they moved out there. Why do that? I mean, they've got a success. It's bad news for the CFL right now. The CFL's the best it's been in years. Now you got some negative press. I think Hamilton's playing Russian roulette with a gun, and it could come back and bite them.
I actually am going to agree with that. Very good point. That won't be said very often.
Wow.
No,
There's some
truly
calm.
it
There's a
is.
sense of serenity on the set. Oh, my
See?
goodness.
15 minutes with me, he's starting to become smarter.
No, not
Oh,
a chance
no.
that'll ever happen. Better chance of seeing God than that happening.
Oh, I
Anyway,
just don't want the franchise to go to Quebec City. I mean, that was
They won't.
a
They won't
location that
move.
came
they
up. I just,
will no.
I cannot imagine the city of Hamilton. This is the oldest existing sports franchise in North America, 1869.
What else does Hamilton have to offer except a crappy football team? They got to keep them.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
For the
on
heart,
that
yes.
note, they're shaking hands. I'm disappointed. On that note, we have got to take a break, but stay tuned. We'll be back with more headlines after the break.
You just went right for her.